very good evening to all of you. Actually, the invite mentioned that this event is going to take place in the auditorium of National Film Archives. But I am amazed and almost get an illusion that I am standing in the Sabha Mandap of Meenakshi Temple with so many pillars supporting the cause and the celebration of architecture. It's really wonderful. Now I started recollecting exactly 17 years ago. I was standing in this place, which today to me was an illusion of a Meenakshi Temple, and I was talking about Corbusier. And look at the time. I am again talking here for the disciple of Corbusier. It's wonderful. The time is cyclic in Indian notion, and we are actually experiencing it. Most of the people I can see, they were present in that particular journey also. Actually, after my Ahmedabad experience with Doshi at Sangat, now Atul is here. I'm very happy to see Sangatis, not so many Sangatis, maybe I don't know them, but Atul was there, Girish was there, and Girish told me, why do you want to start, why don't you start practice in Pune? It's a good place, it's a growing place. But the whole question was, if I had to start in Pune, I had to get Vishwakarma, I had to get Danti Durga, I have to get Kailash, I have to get Ganesh, and I have to get Dumar Lena all the way from Aurangabad to here. I mean, I was almost suggested that you bring the entire Vakatakas and Rashtrakuta empire to Pune. But that was not possible. For me, it was easier to buy 110 rupees ticket from Pune to Aurangabad by ST bus and go there. So I started my practice in Aurangabad. Nevertheless, on Jangli Maharaj Road, we have one such wonderful monument which inspired somebody at Ahmedabad in Taltej Road near Drive-In Cinema. And this great person was inspired by the Jangli Maharaj Mandir, and he thought I should take this back to Ahmedabad, and he took that temple there and he constructed this beautiful place called Sangat. And now when we actually go there in Sangat, you are really amazed. You are almost amazed, and you wonder what kind of a beautiful structure is this. I visit Kailash very often, once in a week, very passionately. I take students of architecture, common people, young students. They are my favorite actually, and you take them there and you tell them, look at this is Kailash. You know, this is like a chariot. This is a beautiful fusion of Rashtrakutas and Vakatakas with a little flavor of Pattadakal. Oh, really? The kids ask you, is chariot, does it move? It's a wonderful question. I think yes, it does move, because we have seen Aquatania and Citroën moving on the streets of Paris and getting converted into Villa Savoye. And his disciple has actually created one such chariot in Ahmedabad, which depicts and which is a tribute to the great Kailash Temple. I think isn't it very amazing? Now this beautiful chariot which is created on Taltej Road near Drive-In Cinema actually moves. It's a chariot which is moving for last 9 decades. People are getting into this chariot, people are getting out of this chariot. There are people who offer something to the chariot out of affection, out of love, and out of passion for architecture, for humanity and mankind, so on and so forth. And you really wonder, what is this chariot all about? Who is the deity of this chariot? You ask one person, who is the deity? Who are you praising? Who are you praying this? You ask a gentleman called BV Doshi, and you ask him, I don't know. I don't know who's the deity. I am a pilgrim. I think that's the philosophy of Doshi's Sangat. He is a pilgrim himself, Doshi watching and Doshi in Sangat. Sometimes when I ask Atul or men ask me, will say undoubtedly Doshi is the deity. So I think this duality, if you ask Mankavati or if you ask Parvati, who is the master of this Kailash temple, he would say undoubtedly it is Lord Shiva. And if you ask Lord Shiva, he would say it's undoubtedly Parvati. I think this duality exists in Sangat as well. Do you look at Doshi as a common man or you look at him as an architect? I think this duality has continuously bothered me. I went with a great deal of passion. I was a fresh graduate of Industrial Design Center, futuristic, talking about Indianness and so on and so forth, which I never got it there. And then I went there in Doshi's office and I was soaked into Indianness. Everywhere, every single brick, every single piece of ether in Doshi's office, every single breath that we took there in Doshi's office was nothing else but Indianness. I think that's the greatness of this great man. And this chariot is moving, it continues to move. It takes these kind of beautiful gifts and offerings. And very recently, we all know probably this beautiful chariot was offered and humbly received something called a gift called Pesca. He took it and is still going on. It's an endless journey. It's a beautiful journey. I think this endless journey is eternal. Doshi, actually, it's wonderful to tell you that he came to Aurangabad. He came to Aurangabad and I took him to Ajanta Caves. He was 82 years old. I took him to that viewpoint where often people take. He looked at, oh my God, what a beautiful piece this is. And he saw some youngsters going down. He's asking, where are they going? I told him, so there is a way you can get down from here and get onto the caves. So, are we not allowed? I said, certainly. We are certainly allowed. So, do you have any problem? So, I have no problem. Look at his passion. That great man at the age of 82, he got down 1800 steps. And amazing. And during that journey, he was putting that kind of a napkin on his head. Like a kid, he was endlessly shooting at those beautiful nature and those beautiful caves. And I have still those beautiful sketches. He's such a great person, such a passion. He was a kid when he went there. And when you go to Doshi, and when you look at Sangat and this chariot, I think, please pardon me, my voice is a little dry actually. I think Doshi himself is a monument. We patrons and we connoisseurs and we lovers of architecture, the devotees of architecture must look at Doshi as a monument himself. Doshi is a monument and monument is nothing but a personified Doshi. I think that's a kind of a duality which we always see in Doshi's language. If you ask him, he says, I am consistently inconsistent. That's the beauty which Doshi actually repeatedly expresses in his various kinds of works. It's very difficult to actually capture Doshi instantly. Is he picturesque? He is not. Is he loud? He is not. He's like a beautiful poetry. It's a beautiful poetry with a deep sense of semiotics, deep sense of semantic structure in his architecture. And unless you are prepared to give some time, listen to this beautiful music, you will probably miss him. You will probably miss his architecture. You may probably miss Doshi the way you may miss him sitting in this crowd. Doshi is sitting somewhere in this crowd. He's such a common man otherwise. I think that's his duality and that's his greatness also. And he's essentially and deliberately wearing that kind of an attire, that kind of a brand, like Mahatma did probably. I don't know. It's no wonder, it's not a coincidence that Mahatma belongs to Sabarmati and this great man belongs to Sabarmati. I said, isn't it a Sabarmati effect? I think it's a Sabarmati effect. I think that's very important that we must, Doshi's works are unanticipated, not obvious, not essentially picturesque, imbued with deep sense of seriousness. Those who are prepared to spend time probably can understand him. And that is the kind of Doshi, if you ask me. I went as a young architect and designer, and I started looking at him. Maybe I'll get to know architecture, but I think architecture was the last thing which I learned in those 4 years. Doshi is a metaphysical person, he's a spiritual person, he's a great prophet, he's a timeless entity, he's a way of thought, and no wonder that he has taken this. When you look at Sangat, now you go to Kailash Temple, or you go to cave number 19 Ajanta, in summer solstice, these beautiful caves are very cut and dry. They talk business with you. Their shadows are very hard. They just talk about absolute truth of life. Doshi is, I think, like this in one part of way. The way you look at Doshi, beholder's eyes, you change Doshi and Sangat as well. And if you look in winter solstice, Kailash Temple is extremely romantic. It's very different. And Doshi is also having wonderful shades of grey. When you look at Doshi in form, different kind of things. To me, I think Doshi is quite intriguing. Next, please. So, Atul and me sitting there in Doshi, we are catching this 3 o'clock tea. He would come after his lunch break and would say, why this guy is sitting and investing time. But if that was the only time which we could really relax on these beautiful steps and really see it. Next. This is the laboratory. This is not a studio. This is a laboratory, I think, as intense and as powerful as 36 Rue de Sèvres of Corbusier. I think it's wonderful. And it's a very divine place. Next, please. Now, this is that the temple which was shifted to Ahmedabad from Pune. Next, please. I gifted him this on his, I think that was his 80th birthday, I believe, I don't remember. So I gave him this beautiful poster which symbolizes Doshi in various ways. He said he was amazed. He says, whoa, wow, this is a new Gufa. Now I have to build. That's what he said. Kanori Art Center is one of his finest works, I think. Kanori Art Center is really wonderful. And when Doshi used to sit in the studio, he would sit on the table and he would have the concerned architect standing next to him, and he would have two more people standing next to him. One was his model maker, Purushottam, and the other guy was Babulal Jetwa, who used to be the contractor. We used to wonder what these guys are doing here. But Doshi, with his ink pen, will start drawing, and these two people, gentlemen, no, Doshi, that is 226. They will say, oh, what are you talking? He will get interrupted. If Doshi wanted it 700, he will say, no, it's not 700, it is 226. This is a kind of wonderful teamwork his laboratory has. So he is a model maker, architect, he himself, and the contractor. They all participate. It's a beautiful symphony. Watching Doshi designing in the studio is a symphony itself. Whole day he will make you slot, put to work, and he will say, now everything is fine. While going, he'll say, oh, no, wow, it's looking beautiful, no? So we have no option than saying, yeah, it looks beautiful. And next day morning, he will rush to your studio. Oh, what have you done? Oh my God, what a blunder we did yesterday. I think we have to start again. So again, he will start from the zero. That's the kind of beautiful kind of this inconsistency or consistency, whatever in his way, we can actually look at. Next, please. He came to Aurangabad, and this is actually a wonderful incident. R.K. Doshi was a great calligrapher, and BV Doshi, a great architect. They both were traveling to US. And look at what the airliner thought, I don't know, but they gave boarding passes next to each other. They did not know each other. And when they came back, after a month, R.K. Doshi called me. Oh, I met your guru. He says, who is? You are my guru. And then I met Doshi. Doshi told me, I met your guru. I said, you are my guru. And that's kind of a beautiful experience I thought I must share with you. And believe me, Purushottam, the model maker, had a serious issue with GLI, Gandhi Labour Institute, this large vault, and there was no light. And we were all breaking head what to do to get light from there. And that night, Atul remembers probably that what Purushottam did, he cut that vault in the evening after Doshi left, and he just separated them a little bit, and that is existing now. That's known as Purushottam vault. Look at the way Doshi is so much deeply involved with all this kind of stuff, and he's extremely courageous person. Doshi is an absolutely courageous person. He's as courageous as Corbusier was during 50s and 40s, because Paris was full of sloping roofs, and Corbusier comes with his 5 principles, influenced by Aquatania and Citroën, and he puts this slit window and flat roof with a terrace garden. Doshi was no less than a courageous guy, because though his spiritual and architectural gurus were Kahn and Corbusier, Doshi Indianized them. Doshi brought them to India. Doshi expressed the Indian version of Corbusier and Louis Kahn, and we all are witnessing that, and the whole world is witnessing that. I think that's something which is really phenomenal. I think it's a dangerous topic. I have to actually start controlling myself. It's highly inflammable for me, because it's difficult for me to stop. Though I was told repeatedly to stick to 10 minutes, I will try to stick to 10 minutes. Yeah. So when I start in my painting, it's red, and when I finish, it's blue. Corbusier said this: no difference. Even Doshi does the same thing. He starts in red, ends up in blue. I think that's really wonderful. And next, please. I gave him these beautiful pictures. I believe you. Please believe me. Next day, Doshi comes to studio. He cuts those 2 pictures I gave him, and he makes a fusion like this, and he gives me back with that note on the top. Look at the way he is looking at monuments as well. I think that's something which is really powerful. And next, please. He has many gurus. We don't know. Endless gurus. Common man is guru. Spirituality is guru. Corbusier is obviously his guru. Society, his own metaphysics, is the guru himself. Next, please. His gurus are various. And this wonderful picture on the left-hand top is BV Doshi. Look at him. Look at BV Doshi smiling. BV Doshi will always smile. Doshi will always be serious like that. Doshi is discussing serious issues, and this person is coolly smiling and giving wonderful solutions. This is a kind of a wonderful, tense, dichotomal, and extremely aesthetic association I have seen. Poles apart, but staying on the same earth. Wonderful 2 people. And next, please. I think he's continuously searching for his inner core. In R.K. Joshi's terminology, I think Doshi is looking at the Antaryami Brahma. I think probably that's what is keeping him young, as you describe. He's a 19-year-old, absolutely young person. Next, please. And his gurus are various. And end with 2 small points. I will just end. I called Purushottam. I keep calling them very often. That time I was taking part in 3 competitions. And incidentally, even Doshi's office was taking part in 3 competitions. IIT Jodhpur was one of them, and 2 more prestigious institutes, obviously. And I was also struggling. I keep struggling with competitions. And SPA was one of the competitions. Then Doshi had seen that entry, and Purushottam knew about it. Purushottam asked me, "Kya hua competition ka?" I said, "I lost it." Purushottam was burst into laughter. I said, "I lost the competition," laughing. He says, Doshi got IIT Jodhpur, but he also lost 2 competitions. And look at him, Doshi banna itna aasan thodi hota hai. He told me. He's lost so many competitions in his life. And look at his spirit at this stage. I think these are great people. And that's something wonderful. To end with this beautiful celebration, auspicious moment, I would also like to share with all of you I called Doshi. After an advice, don't call him for 3-4 days. Too many phone calls and too many interviews. Call him after a week. I called him. He says, have you called me to congratulate and say all those things about award? Please don't say that. How is Kalpana? Kalpana is the name of my wife. And how is your son? I said, it's good. Let's talk about something else. I said, okay, let's talk about something else, surely. Then I told him, Sri Krishna himself, incidentally we have Mahakrishna. I told Doshi, Sri Krishna himself never had an urgency or need to see him into this Virat Roop. It is for us that Virat Roop was shown, and the world has seen his Virat Roop through this small flash of this beautiful Pritzker award. Wonderful. Thank you for listening.